Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and finally I'm able to get back to doing some figure reviews. First one I want to do is the Marvel Legends 2012 Big Time Spider-Man variant. He stands at almost exactly 6 inches tall. He's not perfectly straight up and down, but pretty close. He's the exact same figure as the Future Foundation's Spider-Man, and he's just really a repaint, the variant of him. He was hard to find for a while, but now he's popping up just about everywhere. A lot of people really hate this figure. I gotta say, I don't love it, but I'm not really on that hating the figure thing. I kind of like this guy. He's definitely not perfect, but I do kind of like him. He's solid black with the green shading, and the way they handled the paint job for this guy is all of the line work is white, and then they just used the sprayer to spray the green, and where the green was over the white, it's a lot brighter than where the green was over the black. Now, compared to the one that they showed last year at SDCC, and it was there again this year, this looks horrible. That one looked amazing, but when you have the machine actually painting it, of course, all the spray is going to be heavier and not nearly as nice. So this guy doesn't look as good as he could, but he's still pretty solid. There are problems, though, mainly that the spray is not even. If you look, there's almost none on his hand. It's only on the bottom part of his hand, none on the top at all, so it just kind of ends there. There's none on the knee or the shin at all, so it just kind of stops at the thigh. Then it's solid black, and then it's on the foot again. And on the back it's particularly noticeable. There's none on the shoulder parts, none on the lower torso, it's just on the back. And there's a little bit on the head here, but not on the back where it should be for the neck. There's none on the neck disc. So the shading's really the big problem here. Otherwise it's pretty good. There's a little bit of a problem on mine right there, but that just happens sometimes. You can't do much about that. And if you'll look, you can see the white, the way they did that, because they didn't get any of the spray on the inside of the waist joint there. So that's kind of ugly, but it's the way it goes with a mass-produced figure, unfortunately. So overall, though, mine's not as bad as some other people's have been. The shading on some people is really heavy, so it's really, really green. My shading's not too bad, to the point where if you just stand him on the shelf, he's not going to look particularly bad. It looks kind of like the way he's supposed to look. The back, not so much, but the front looks pretty good, so I'm pretty happy with it. I'm still not a huge fan of that head sculpt. I know it's accurate, and so it's not really the sculptor's problem. I just don't like the way the nose sticks out, and then there's like really concave up above the nose, and the way the eyes are recessed. It looks kind of off to me. I'm more of a traditionalist when it comes to the Spider-Man head design, but it is what it is, so I'm not really complaining about it too much. As far as articulation goes, he's got the disc in the neck for the up and down, and then the head rotates on that. Good range of motion for the head, which is nice for Spider-Man, obviously. He's got the inner shoulder joints, just like we've seen in lots of figures. They're pretty effective on this guy, so I'm pretty happy about that. He's got the ball disc shoulders, full range of motion, bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, wrist rotation, and a wrist pivot. This hand is a little bit big, I think. I said that in the other review for the other version, and I'll probably say it again for Iron Fist when he comes out, but this hand just looks a little bit too big to me. Ab crunch works pretty well on this guy. The lines line up when it's all the way up. When it's down, they don't line up perfectly, but it's not bad. It does go all the way up there, so that's fine. Waist twist. The waist is a little small for the lower part of the waist. At the top half, if you look, there's like a kind of a gap. Not so much this way, but on the front and on the sides, you can see a little bit of an overhang. But it is what it is. It does work, so that's fine. He's got wide-jointed ball disc hips, thigh swivel, double jointed knees. He's got that new nicely sculpted shin. Same with the forearms. New sculpt right there. Really nice ankle pivot. He's got the new type of ankle rocker, which I'm not a huge fan of because it puts the foot in these weird kind of angles. I'd rather it just kind of rock more evenly, horizontally, rather than twisting. But it's still there, so it's better than nothing, and I'm okay with that. So he's got good articulation. You can get him in some really nice poses, and it's really nice to have a Spider-Man that you can put in some nice poses. Of course, this is just a real quick one that sucks, but it's a demonstration, so bear with me. Yeah, it's really a bad pose, but he can do it, so you have to balance him, of course. So as you can see, he has no problem standing. Just kidding. You have to balance him, but still, he's got plenty of articulation, so he'll definitely be all right. Be careful. As you can see, the green scratches pretty easily I just did that just now as I was posing it, so be careful with that. But he does have that articulation. So there he is, guys. He's not the best figure in the world, but I think he's worth picking up. He's a nice addition to the Spider-Man collection, and he's a nice display piece on the shelf because he stands out. So I do recommend him, even though he's not perfect. Decent figure overall. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for the rest of the reviews that I have coming, and in the meantime, keep collecting.